Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Way of the Warrior. My name is Trevor Martin, and obviously I'm the host. And if you've been around, you've heard what Way of the Warrior is about. And for those of you who are just tuning in, I'm going to summarize it up really quickly. It's about talking with individuals, modern day warriors, that are pushing back against the darkness in this world via their personal or professional life, or both, right? And so I look out on social media and I simply talk and reach out to individuals and say, you know what, I think you'd be a good fit for the show. So it just so happens, once again, I have another guest, Stephanie. Thank you so very much for joining me today on Way of the Warrior.
Thank you so much, Trevor. I really appreciate it. I just want to let you know I am grateful and I am honored to be a part of your show. I have seen your past episodes, and the people you feature and the stories that are told here are so powerful. And thank you for having such a positive voice in such a dark world and bringing light and hope to people that may not hear it otherwise. So thank you very much.
Well, no problem. And hey, thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah, that right there. The whole idea was to be able to give people an avenue to be able to tell their story. I think that a lot of times, and you and I have talked about this, a lot of times we look at ourselves, we're like, I don't know if my story is worth telling. And I mean, it's just like maybe there was no huge like epic thing in my life that were to make people go, oh yeah, wow, that's amazing. Like look how you overcame that, or look how you got through that, or look what you did. And it doesn't have to be like that. It is people need to be able to understand that they have a voice, and that voice is worth hearing just as much as anybody else's, right? And so that's what this whole thing is about. And some people are, I would say, and I used to be this way. Some people don't want to share a lot of the things that they have gone through, and sometimes it takes a certain moment or a certain person to be like, "Hey, I see something, and I hear something, and I think that you need to tell it. I think you need," and then all of a sudden, oh, all right, I got the power to do this. Let's go, right? And there they go. So thank you very much for that, for stating that. And let's just dive in. So take
Do
us
it.
back. Let's rewind a little bit, right? Let's get into it. Let's rewind a bit. Take us back, right? So we're going to talk about the past, present, and future, right? Of you and the things that you've done. Let's rewind a little bit. Let's talk about like you growing up, going through your, your youth, all the way up in, kind of into adulthood, and how you got this where you are today, both personally and professionally.
Yeah. Well, let's just start with childhood and how I grew up and who I am. So for me, I was a firstborn daughter in a girl house growing up. So I was born with the natural ability to want to lead my sisters.
Right
We
on.
grew up absolutely beautiful home. I don't have a sad story as far as my parents or growing up. I had my grandparents around me. I had loving parents that are still together. My mom was a teacher. My dad was a hard worker. So I had what people would look at from the outside and think the perfect life, right? The ideal life. Um, and so for me, it was just, maintaining what they told me, maintaining that voice in my head already of you're capable, you can do this. My mom being an educator, she always told me you have the ability to be anybody you want to be and do anything you want to do with your life. So I grew up with that mindset. And little did I know I would be tested at such an early age with that warrior mentality, that warrior mindset, with a family situation that came up. So when I was in my teens, when I was 19, my sister disclosed to me that she was a victim of child sexual abuse. And it just devastated our family. Um, the perpetrator was actually my best friend's father. And so our perfect life bubble was completely destroyed with one outcry. It was like, the rug
Wow.
is out from under you. And you just think, wow, we went to a private Christian school. We went to church every Sunday. My mom prayed over us every night. We have this close knit family. Why and how did this happen? And so that test in my teens of what do you do? Do you hide? Do you cower? Do you just, tell your sister, oh, let's just not tell anybody. Sorry that happened. Let's not talk about it. What do you do? And so I had a few moments during her outcry with me that I thought, okay, this is it. I have to rise up or never. And so I told her, I said, we are going to tell everybody, we are going to seek justice, and we're going to call the police, and we're going to let everything just happen the way it's supposed to happen, but you cannot let this continue. And so my sister Jenna was so gracious to just, follow me home. We called the police. We made the report. We went through that whole process. I could do a whole separate podcast on just, the symptoms and the signs and how to handle these
Yeah.
kind of guys from abuse victims. I mean, it's so heavy, but it was just such an integral part of like shaping me in my teens that without that part of my story, it just would seem like, oh, your life was perfect. Oh, you just must have everything going great for you. Lucky you. And absolutely not. Like that devastated us. That really challenged me. Um,
Yeah.
so we did end up getting justice. We did end up, taken to the courts, and my sister Jenna was amazing. I just gave her the support I could and the encouragement I could along the way. And he, did get sentenced and put in prison. And so it was a really rough journey for those years that she was recovering and the family was
Yeah.
recovering. But just keeping that mentality and that warrior mindset of how can I lead Jenna, my sister? How can I tell her her story is not defined by what's happened to her? You cannot let
Preach.
what happens to you define your future. And a lot of women and young men, unfortunately, they go down that path of sadness and depression and low self-esteem, and they hang on to that their whole lives. And so having your outcry, tell somebody, don't keep it a secret. That's step one. That is so important. And when someone tells you, believe them, help them get help. It's so important. um, and then the healing that comes with that, and just being there for her and supporting her. So yes, we were shaken in those early years, and I actually have the magazine. So remember when magazines were a thing? So our magazine back in 2005 did a feature article on us, and it said, "We put a molester behind bars." So look at that.
Oh, that's awesome.
How crazy is that? It's just such a testimony of,
It
what
is.
he was able to overcome. And one thing I'll tell you before we move into, what else I went on to do is that what we learned from this is that the darkness and the pain, it grows and it thrives in secrecy. It is the one thing that if I can tell everybody, it's going to hurt you more to hold on to that pain. And my sister Jenna was just deteriorating before our eyes, and we didn't know why. And it took me asking her some questions at a luncheon in my teens for her to finally outcry to me. And it's just so important to just talk to somebody. That's why communion, community, being together, it's so important not to stay in isolation. The minute you can get that community or that conversation going with somebody can be the beginning of your healing. So that's just so,
100%.
yeah. So
Uh,
that's college and me wanting to be a teacher like my mom and do the education route.
yeah.
Yeah, so I went on to be a teacher and get my degree in teaching, and that leadership mentality, that mindset of just, everybody, the way I view anybody I meet, which is so funny because now I'm working with adults, but everybody I meet, I view them as 8-year-old children. It's like a gift. It's something that I can see in people. It's like I see this potential and I see this innocence in everybody, regardless of their past, regardless of what they've gone through. And so ever since I was young, I wanted to pull that out of people. I wanted to be that classic teacher that you hear about that says, you can do it. I believe in you. There's potential.
Yeah.
I'm going to pull it out of you. And we're not all going to be great at one thing. We all have our gifts. We all have our talents. And so I just absolutely loved being able to study education and the mind and the brain development of humans and how we operate. And it just helped set me up to be a mom and a wife and educator and all the things that have come from, my school and my training.
Yeah. I think, so first of all, I want to pause and say thank you for, well, I guess, yeah, thank you for being willing to talk about that because that's not a, that takes energy.
Yeah.
That takes a lot of energy to be able to open up and talk about something that's heavy, that's really heavy, that's really dark, right? And so just talking about something like that, or reminiscing or going back can just be it can just be a lot. So thank you for going there for us. Thank you
Yeah.
for talking about it. But on the other side of that, right, you have the victory, you have the victorious tale. And I think stopping right there and talking about or pointing out, excuse me, the type of person that it takes to be able to say, hey, here's what's right, and here's what we're gonna do. Like I know that you're in it, you're in the thick of it. I'm gonna help you. We're gonna battle plan this thing out. All right, and we're gonna push forward and we're gonna get through it. And guess what? It's not just gonna be you. I'm there in the sands of the arena right there with you. We're gonna get up, we're gonna slay. We're going to war here. So I need you to saddle up with me, but you have to understand that I'm right here beside you. And then you take that, you go through this event in your life, and you carry those moments of battle with you into your next your next session in life. You talked about teaching. You talked
Yeah.
about being a mother, being a wife, all of those things while carrying that banner of a badass, fearless leader. There's a fearlessness that comes to doing what you did. For both of you, there's a fearlessness to
Yeah.
saying, hey, we're going to do, and that's something that you're able to teach the children that you teach, that pass on, excuse me, to your children, things like, and show your husband, right? Like, hey, look, I don't know if you know this or not, but I'm pretty fucking badass. So, right? So I think that
Yeah.
those are things that you're taking forward, and then of course people that are watching, they're going to be watching, excuse me, this episode. So thank you for that. I can imagine, I can about imagine that your sister was like probably at some point in time went, we got this because I know that Stephanie's right. I know that she's right here. So let's do the damn thing. Okay, so I gotta ask this. What do you teach?
So I got my degree in early childhood education,
Okay.
and I went on later to get a master's of education. And
Nice.
so all that experience in the classroom and leadership training with my educational teams and curriculum planning, all of that shaped my desire to just raise up leaders. That is just inside of me. And I'm a boy mom. I have three boys. So
Yeah.
it's like flip flop. I was
All
in a
hands on deck.
now it's like, okay, here are these three sons, and you're going to raise these little, mini kings, these little warriors, the best of your
Yeah.
ability. And I'm trying. So I love that. I feel like it's just a calling that I just want everybody to rise to their potential. It's like I see it in people. There's just something I see that it's like, no, you've been through that. And yes, that's awful. That is tragic. That is painful. And you're allowed time to grieve. You're allowed time to be sad and just let it become a reality in your life. You have to accept it. And then what you do next, that's where I come in. And I'm like, let's go. Let's do something. Let's grow you. You can be a leader in any area of your life you want to grow in. You just have to take the steps. You can do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think? A friend of mine, a dear friend of mine, Jennifer Yale, she's a masculinity coach, and she leads a group called Kingmaker. And I'm thinking about all this because you said three little kings. What
Yep.
do you in today's and she when she's talking about just some of the things that are going on in society, and how it almost appears that men are starting to lose some of their masculinity, their masculine traits, things like that. Do you find that to be do you find that to be the case, where you're at, and are you trying to take, as you raise these three boys, what steps, I guess, are you trying to take to make sure that they are raised as little gentlemen, understanding what it means to be a good man?
Yes, that is the challenge. That is
Yeah.
right. So, to answer your first part of that question, absolutely in society, movies, television shows, everywhere you look, it's even, walk the mall. Look at the billboards of the models of, clothing store,
I just yes, I
jewelry,
just said this about
makeup.
I
Oh my,
just commented to my wife, what was it? Oh, come on. Oh, Polo and Ralph Lauren. I was like,
yes. Okay, right? You see it too. It's very
yeah,
odd. Very Men are being portrayed as so feminine to the point that it's odd even to regular young boys. My boys just see stuff like that. They see posters and we're walking the mall and they're like, "Mom, do you see that? That guy, they put lipstick on him. They painted his nails and they put all this like jewelry and made him look like a girl." And they're just so confused at that anyways when they see
yeah,
that. Not to mention, all the movie shows and TV shows that you see that have all that, demasculinity and things happening. I just tell my boys, this is what you need to do. You need to be strong. You need to be the leader. Hopefully, if it's God's will, you have a family, then you're going to be the leader of your wife and children. I'm like, you have to develop these leadership skills now. Take care of yourself, be responsible, treat others with kindness, but yet be bold. So there's that balance because, we're into
yeah.
sports. So we've had countless conversations after sporting events where I tell them, you don't have to be talking up, being all mean and saying all this stuff under your breath. Let your skills, you just
There you go.
shoot that three in his face. And instead of, getting up in his face and fronting him, just run back, get back on defense. Your skills do the talking. So it's like you just have this presence as a man of just being you, confident in who you are. You just get stuff done and don't worry about the side talk. Don't worry about the side noise. You don't need to cause drama. Just stay in your lane,
Yeah.
do right, and don't listen to all that noise because there's so much noise nowadays. It's everywhere.
I 100% agree with that, and I like what you just said, like stay in your lane and do right.
Yeah.
So it's crazy how clear that lane actually becomes the more you do what's right. And speaking from experience, living a lot of my life not right, right? The
Yeah.
path was
Yeah.
I mean,
Woo!
mayday, right? So, but once you start to figure out, or once you realize, the more open you are to doing what is right, to doing what is genuinely kind, the
Yes.
that path all of a sudden stops shaking and goes right here, and
Yeah.
you walk it. Now sure, you're gonna have, we're human, we're gonna have trip ups, we're gonna make mistakes,
Yeah.
but when we surround ourselves with other people that are like, yo, I'm on that same path, right? So when we talk about your three boys, right, the parents are on the same path. Hey, kids, who are your friends? Are they walking a similar path, or are they the type that's like, hey, we should go, around and do this, right? And then
Hmm.
you're off on a different path. So, I really respect that, and I really appreciate that. Our boy is 17, and he is his name's Easton,
Hmm.
and he is as a responsible 17-year-old as I could hope for or dream of. But what really blows my mind about him is his heart, is his it just he's a to be honest, like, he's a hero of mine. I mean, just how kind he is. He is firm, he's strong, he's good at sports. One hell of a baseball player, but just how he treats other people and how he supports other people, his teammates, people at school, at home, just the kind of he's just kind, and he's so firm and steadfast in that kindness. I mean, he just is. So I'm excited to hear more about, as you continue on your journey, as you continue to raise your three kings. I like that.
Yeah.
Your three kings, how they grow up. As you look, Stephanie, as you look towards your future personally and professionally, like let's say the next 1 to 3 years, what are you hoping? You said you're a leader of people, right? You're helping individuals, helping adult leaders
Yeah.
through coaching. Yes, is that correct? Okay.
Yeah.
So as you continue to go forward, what's that look like in your mind?
So I'm actually doing two things. I'm also running operations for Tech DH, which is our website company. And so we
Nice.
build websites for small businesses, professionals, artists, musicians. And we absolutely love doing that. I mean, working with adults in that area, representing yourself online, that is amazing. But also for a couple years, I have been coaching and consulting. So I recently got my website up and I've been recently, talking more about that on social media. And I just had this pull a couple years ago, this desire to raise up leaders, raise up other adult leaders, because I feel like burnout amongst us, burnout amongst people that are leading teams, it's so real and it can just, make or break you. And so having those small daily habits, having those rituals, that discipline to maintain, what you're doing is so important. And that's where I like to integrate a lot of not just mindset development and goals and preparation, but also the physical part, staying physically,
Yeah.
the diet, the nutrition, the sleep, the working out and staying active so your body doesn't just shut down on you. It's all one big working piece. And so I just want, in the next few years, I want to encourage people. I want to continue to, build up my clientele with people that want that and desire, that consistency and that support. And a lot of it is just accountability. We all know the right
Right
answer.
on.
If you were to
Yeah.
ask on, hey, what do you think you should do to be healthy? And, well, I should get a really good sleep and I should be eating my veggies and I should go to the gym or take a walk. It's just accountability and actually doing it is the challenge. And that's where I come in and I help consult and I help talk to people and just be there. Kind of like even with my sister, with Jenna, she had to do all the work to heal and grow from her abuse, but I'm there to keep on her, asking the questions, encouraging her, checking in on her. And I just feel like in the next few years, I'm just going to continue to do that. And my goal is to bring light and hope to people who feel, sad, they feel depressed, they feel stuck. I want to help bring that out of them and push them forward to a better future.
I love that. So just off of the cuff here, you seem to be a genuinely happy person. Like you have that aura, that energy about you, for lack of a better word. Like you seem to be that type of person, and that is contagious, and it's also fuel for the people that you're helping, right? They're seeing that and you're like, well, hold on a second, how are you so happy? And I want some of that, and how do I get it? And what do I need to do, right? And I
Yeah.
believe everything that you're saying. Like the wife and I get up first thing in the morning, right? We work out. So and when we're done working out, we're back. I'm usually at the gym or vice versa, like however, right? We got the 2-year-old sleeping at home, so we got one of us that has to stay, etc. So it's but when we're done working out, it's coming back and it's talking about, hey, let's catch up a little bit. What are we doing for the day? How was the workout, etc. Right? Talking about the kids and things like that. And what we find is consistency with everything that you're saying is key, right? Making sure
Yeah.
that nutrition, that diet, that all of those things keeps you on that clear path that we were talking about, or that you were talking about, excuse me, that you were talking about earlier. So I absolutely 100% agree with that because when you miss it, like when you don't do those things, the path all of a sudden starts to become, and then you're going, oh man, why didn't I work out this morning? Why didn't I do this? Oh, I just messed, now you're just like, oh man, you're all
Yeah.
over the place. So keeping that structure and having someone like yourself to be there, like, hey, remember, we're gonna do this. Like, we go back to your sister, like, hey, I got you. Look over here. You're not in this alone. I'm right here.
I
We're
got
going
you.
to fucking war. I got you, right? Let's do
Yes.
the damn thing.
That's
Dude, Stephanie, I'm so excited, and I can't wait to share this episode, and I'm very honored that you were here with me tonight. I really appreciate it.
Oh, well, thank you. This is truly an honor for me. I just feel like, you inspire me to want to go out there and
Thank
start
you.
a podcast because I'm thinking, wow, he's in bringing all these people and inviting all these stories and all these testimonies. And it's doing nothing but helping everyone and sharpening everyone and making us want to be better. So thank you. You are
Of
the trail.
course.
I love it. I love your podcast. I love your show.
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate that, and I'm honored by the words that you have said. I feared for the longest time. I didn't, I'm like, I'm just not. Everybody's doing. People are doing podcasts. I'm not. Nobody's gonna tune in to do my. Not gonna. I'm not gonna do it. What I found was that as much as I meant it for everybody else, it actually helps heal and fuel me as well. So conversations like this, right? Like it's just it's that positive energy that hits you and you're like, all right, okay, yeah, we're in this together. To your point, let's do the damn thing. Real quick before we wrap this up, where can individuals, so audience, you have got to connect with Stephanie. Stephanie, where can they,
Yeah.
what social medias are you on? How can they connect with you?
Okay, so I have all my other social media private because I'm a mom and I have boys. So Instagram, Facebook, all of that's private. But if you want to get a hold of me, I have my LinkedIn. And on my LinkedIn, I have my website link and I have an
Nice.
email. My work email's there. And you can go email me and set up a time. And I'd be happy to talk to you and set up an opportunity to do some more advocacy work or just chat and see where it leads.
Perfect. Well, hey, thank you very much, audience. Make sure that you go check her out on LinkedIn, excuse me. And Stephanie, once again, thank you so much for being with us here tonight on the show. I greatly appreciate it.
Thank you so much. The honor is mine. Thank you.
All right, audience, we'll catch you next time. We'll see you out there.